Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your AstroShaman, Pernell Bobby. We are generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. Today, we're just going to give you a brief, short report on the astrological energies. We're coming up on the second quarter moon. What does that mean before the Scorpio eclipse? Okay, coming off a new moon, which is like always the first quarter moon. New moon, which was in Aries, and that eclipse. Okay, we're in between eclipses. So our one moon cycle is in between eclipses. This is very important to understand. Why? Because we're in Taurus season. Now, the sun conjunct the North Node yesterday, which says what? Okay, we've become more consciously aware of all of our talents. I'm talking our natural talents, but I'm talking about our natural talents that may have been hidden from us. So for me, one of the simplicities, believe it or not, years of doing this, believe it or not, it's astrology. Literally, it's astrology. But redefining the basics of astrology. So within the membership, it's like I'm looking to reanalyze all of the zodiac signs and everything that has been preemptively put in history and bring some of that ancient wisdom of what's been in history, but also to connect us to the future, meaning these signs mutate. So if I give an example, Aries is always considered this initiator, this starter, go, go, go. And it's like, yeah, but it's never resonated with me. At some phase of my life it did, but some of that I brought the projections from other people. But when I got in tune with myself, it's like, look, I have gate 42 in human design, for example. This is why genetic astrology really matters to me. It's like gate 42 is a finishing gate. The channel that we have currently active, which is important for the current energies, is actually connecting to gate 53. So this is our root chakra, this pressure center for us to attain our resources and focus on, survival, push for survival. Okay, pressurized energy for survival, to gain our home, our monies, plants in the house, whatever makes us feel safe. And our creative center, the sacral chakra, which is where gate 42 lies, which is actually my sun. My sun sign is on gate 42, so it's like endings, and not attaching to the expectation, okay? Recognizing that detachment, and this is for all of us right now, because this entire channel, recognize that right now that detachment is not that you own nothing, okay? I bought a plant yesterday. It's not that I own nothing. It's that if I need to move tomorrow, that I'm not going to not buy the plant because of whatever expectation and fall into that. Detachment is saying that the plant does not own me, but that I can still be next to the plant. And this allows us to start to celebrate life. And so this channel between 53 and 42 is active right now, where 53 is actually Mars in Cancer. Now again, Cancer is that sign that people don't really see as much of as an initiator, but it is a cardinal energy, right? And so gate 53 is actually not the Cancer that's timid, that moves side to side. It's the Cancer who has already done the side to side. It has already done the incubation period of a baby in its gestation, which says, look, it takes 9 months for a baby to be pregnant, or a woman to be pregnant with a baby. But it's like, well, now this woman is ready to push the baby out the crown. So the baby's not all the way out, but she's starting her labor. And this is what all of us are at right now. We're starting our labor. We're starting to push that head through the crown. And that head is a part of this new beginning, which is associated with Aries. But the gate of Aries is not about the new beginnings. It's actually about closing things so that new beginnings can begin. And this is very different understanding. So, for me, this is one of the ways that the sun in Taurus, conjunct the North Node in Taurus, has helped me understand, okay, the resources that I'm building slowly, stably. As for courses coming out on some of the basics, but in order for the basics to be put as a foundation, Taurus, for us to get into the complications, okay, where all my nerds are at, okay, people who basically are in the economy and the membership. So check us out. We actually meet this Sunday coming up. I don't know what the hell day that is, to be honest. May 7th. I just lied out loud. May 7th we do meet, but I don't know if it's this May 7th that is coming from the time of this video. I don't know. Today's the 25th. So maybe that makes sense. Is the next Sunday May 7th? That probably makes sense. If it's not the 7th, then it has to be the 29th? Oh, it could be April 29th. April 29th. I don't know. I'm lost. Okay, so back to the astrology report. You need to really see, where is the sun at for you? So again, the sun for me, okay, or Taurus energy for me, is in my 9th house. I have Taurus in my 9th house, and my solar return, which is publishing stuff, like I just said, publishing a foundational material for people to learn higher education. Okay, that's one example. Now, in a separate example, I'm a Scorpio rising, so my natal 7th house is the 7th house. My natal Taurus is the 7th house, and this has just been about really recognizing, wow, I have a really stable partner. This is awesome. I have a dependable partner that I can grow with, and this is something that I've always been. I've always been a stable partner, and it's like this conscious understanding of like, okay, with my partner, we're stably going in this direction. Okay, like a locomotive, completely unstoppable. But it's like, the South Node says, what did I need to process? Okay, the South Node is in Scorpio. So it's like, what emotions do I need to process? What private and unconscious behaviors I need to process? I need to start checking in with my unconscious behaviors that I gained from my mom, checking with unconscious behaviors I gained from my dad, and whoever the parents and the guardians were. Okay, and as I understood that, I understood, well, why did I behave like this in relationships while we are currently in Mercury retrograde? Why did I behave like this in relationships if this is who I authentically am? Why did I inauthentically behave like this? And it's like, well, a lot of that is just about becoming aware of, you know, what obsessions did I have? What emotions did I obsess of? What thoughts did I have that were obsessive? Now, again, for me, that's with my solar return. That's my Scorpio in the 3rd house on the South Node. Okay, what thoughts that I obsess about? Or separately at me as a Scorpio rising, it's like, what pain did I store in my body? And it's like, when I say store in the body, Taurus doesn't really move a lot. Cancer doesn't even really move a lot. So it's like, by me staying still on certain days, like when the moon is in void, I was able to assess, well, what are these trapped pains that are in my body? And then by me doing yoga today, I'm now ready to talk to you and share my experiences. And that's what this channel, okay, of maturation is about. The channel of maturation is 42 to 53. That's Mars in Cancer in 53, and it's 42, which is my sun sign. Okay, so it's really active for me right now. Understand that if any of these gates are active, in case you have, they're very active, and it's my sun sign. So I'm here to help you understand what are the things that we need to close. Who are the people that need to close out of your life? That allows you to start to celebrate, that you can detach from, where they no longer own you. And while Mercury is in retrograde, okay, in Taurus, this is really starting to take extra reflection and assessments when it comes to if I give, for an example, for me, 1st house, 7th house access, this is relationship access, okay? Or the learning access of the 3rd to the 9th. These are the 2 active for me. You gotta apply it for yourself. You know, it's like, there's honestly so many things that has. This is also going in my, you know, I was born in a retrograde, so this is not gonna impact everyone that's listening the same, unless you were born in a retrograde. It's like, during these times, life is more clear. So there's only like 3 main times in life that is like very, very clear. Like my mind is very clear. Oftentimes I live much more in the fall because I was born in a retrograde. So when it's not retrograde, I'm more in this, I have to take these time frames. So for everybody listening, if you're born in a retrograde, these are the time frames where you're clear on, I need to line up all my ducks this way. Because from this retrograde to the next retrograde, I'm just going to keep going straight like an unstoppable locomotive. Now, for a lot of other people, it's like, you know, these are times to slow down, reflect, and not move forward aimlessly, blindlessly, if you will. Which is not really aimless, but I think you understand how you reverse engineer if you were not in a retrograde. So, separate from that, we do have, you know, Venus is in Gemini, okay? And it is making some harmonious aspects with Chiron and Aries, all right? It'll reach at 17 degrees. So the 2nd quarter moon that we're at, in between the new moon and the full moon, okay, which is the 3rd quarter moon, this is the time frame where we really, we look at our creative ambitions. We sit there and realize, what are these new beginnings? What are these new starts? Now, what's very powerful is gate 53, which is Mars in Cancer, is literally this gate about new beginnings. It's here to push us, okay, into this emotional power of create something, change your image. You know, you have to look at where Leo and stuff is at for yourself. I don't even know where my Leo is at this year, but standardly I'm 9th house. Okay, so again, more publishing for me. It's like, right? So start to understand how much this overlaps. So you have to. That's where, like, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you can either join a membership or you can just book a one-on-one, and I can understand that. So I'm gonna try to stick to the people, try to guide the people right now. How I feel you benefit most from this energy is really be willing to pause. Be really willing to let things incubate. When I say incubate, think about that pregnant woman. And it's like, you have to assess as an individual, where are you? Are you pushing? I have not been pushing. I've been resting. I literally just took a week vacation, and even when I got back, I took like another day of rest yesterday. And then the day before, I only planned when the moon was in Gemini. I didn't do much. I planned what I was going to do. And then after I planned what I was going to do, I didn't act and do it right away. It's the incubation period. But that's also part of who I am. So you have to know yourself, right? Like, that's who I am. I line things up, and then when I hit something, I hit home runs. That's just who I am. More like a locomotive. And so part of that Sun conjuncting Uranus is bringing that conscious awareness of, that's who I am. And that's what Taurus energy is about. My Sun, I'm an Aries Sun, but my Sun is progressing Taurus. And Taurus is a locomotive energy. So the Sun is in this locomotive energy, which means it could take a long time to begin something. It could take a long time to end something. But once it's going, chuka chaka, chuka chaka, chuka chaka, chuka chaka, it's unstoppable. So think about what areas of Taurus are in your life, because that's what the Sun is illuminating. That's what is bringing consciousness on for our ambitions, our talents. And with the North Node of 4 degrees, this is specifically our hidden talents, our talents that are hidden in emotions that need to be processed. So yesterday, like, I had this drive. I knew exactly what I felt. My sacral chakra energy as a generator in human design, it was generating on this. And it was like, yo, do this. And I felt the instinct to do that. But the channel of maturation, okay, which takes a long time to mature, says, look, what do you need to finish? And I was like, oh, snap. In order for me to take this next step in my courses, I need to finish 1, 2, 3, because I missed that. And I got to do that so that my foundation doesn't fall underneath me. So before I start this new stuff, finish that 1, 2, 3 stuff, as well as whatever other base obligations I have. And so all of that, you know, when I say rest and incubation period, when I knew that, I didn't act on that. I got that urge where I could have, but I knew that I wouldn't locomotive it. I would have went at it and burnt out. Where today, I wouldn't be able to put this message out to you, which I had no idea I was going to do today. You see what I'm saying? So the magic of this maturation is maturing and working in alignment with your own authentic, you know, system of how do you make decisions. And this took me a long time, because in the past, and I had to look through this reflection, Scorpio third house, this obsession of, damn, when I was inspired, when I desired something, I go get it right now. But part of that is a conditioning, because that's not actually who I am. I don't move at the pace of what other people say. But at some point I did, because I was confused and I wasn't in tune with myself. So this Sun is asking us to look at very clearly, what do you need in order to locomotive your life? So, you know, this channel of emoting, we just passed it. So all the last week, you might be recovering from just all this emotional waves. There is still one channel of emotions waving between 36 and 35, which is Gemini energy, and Venus and Gemini energy, and Neptune and Pisces. So that has a more collective impact, but you as an individual collecting, impacting the collective. And so everything I just said to you of what I'm doing as an individual is impacting everybody watching the video. So that's a part of this. It's using your experiences, looking at how your experiences have shaped your today and how it shapes, the futures tomorrow. The main thing I feel like we need to know in this astrological update is that we are coming up on a Scorpio eclipse, which means that this energy is already active in all this Taurus season. We have Scorpio eclipse and Taurus season, Taurus energy. Mercury's Taurus, we're in retrograde. So, do your best to little by little. Like yesterday, I took, even after a vacation, a rest by the ocean, every day in the ocean, which led all to this energy as well. Be willing to just chill out. Even when you get that instinctive, boom, I want to go at it. Be willing to chill out and look at what is obsessive. So you see Scorpio on your chart, see what you have been obsessing about and what you are refusing to let die. So for me, some of this was just this whole twin flame theory. I had to let that go, and it's been let go at least a year ago. But it's like Scorpio, Taurus, these energies linger, okay? They don't let go things very slowly, and they don't start things very quickly. And so it's like they happen in gradual themes. And so it's like having to let people go out of my mental space that are basically living there rent-free. Letting go of business relationships in my mental space. Letting go of certain investments, certain debts that people owe out of my mental space. All of this, focus on what can you let go to make space for more creative new adventures. And that's part of what this second quarter moon is about. It's like, look, by the 27th is when the second quarter moon starts, the 27th of April. I think I'm putting this out one day prior on the 26th. So by 27th, it's like, you know, it's time to create something brand new, but make sure you start letting go of things prior, because if you preemptively do that, by the time you get to the eclipse, it's not going to be so difficult. It's not going to be so hard. It's not going to be so, the eclipse ripped me apart. And it's like, look, just don't run from yourself. Don't run from, you know, a healthy sense of self, a healthy ego that you have developed. Recognize what you have developed and come to this full moon. Okay, this is a lunar eclipse. This is a full moon in Scorpio happening at 14 degrees, which is Taurus. So this is all about with the sun passing over, that conjunction to the North Node. You know, we're very clear on our direction, and we're very clear on the self-worth that we have accumulated, keyword accumulated, through very tough, traumatic, and difficult, even painful circumstances. Okay? Painful actions, you know, coming into understanding of our sex drive and how we use our sexual energy appropriately or inappropriately, obsessively or not. And as we start recognizing this, we can really change gears, because this is all about starting something new. So it's about changing gears. It's about reassessing. And with that reassessment of energy, now you're going to have so much emotional power. Enough for me to put this video out. Like, I haven't been motivated to do videos, but it's like this one I have, because we all need to hear this. So hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Thank you for rocking with us. Join our membership. We meet up this Sunday coming. And, you know, I love you. I appreciate you. You all rock.